Stage 19 of the Vuelta took place yesterday, and it went from Casso to Gijón, 149 kilometers, stage 19 was, and that's what the parkour looks like on the land. In this video, I'm going to give you a recap in my paintings of what happened in the stage. It's going to be one take and one take only, so please forgive any rustle-ups, that means mess-ups, because there are going to be loads of them, and I'm also going to leave lots of pauses, because sometimes I won't know what to say, so I'm just going to leave it. Like then, see? Right, this is David Vieira. He is leading the King of the Mountains jersey, the competition for the polka dot, and the mountains points. I'm sure you know what that is. And during the breakaway today, which was allowed to get away to up to about 15-16 minutes, I think was the maximum, maybe more actually, they're all kind of looking at each other thinking like, what's going to happen here? Maybe I should go off now. And obviously the points being involved, David Vieira breaks off the front and then very quickly thinks, this is stupid, there's loads to go. Oh, and I thought I'd show you this on Instagram. Basically, I've altered my style. Look at all that love I'm getting. This is one of my favourites, the best. You are now boss. Brutal. This is your best one yet. Alberto! So I'm getting all this positivity, and it has made me change my style because I've listened to the people, and I've changed my style for the people. I am the people's artist after all. And here is David Vieira. I'm painting him in this new style. It's bigger on the page. It's more loose, and I'm being a bit more obvious with the kind of whoosh lines to depict speed and motion. I've been reluctant to do it in the past because I think it's a bit obvious. It's kind of like pointing an arrow and saying, this guy's going quickly, as opposed to doing it in some kind of more subtle way which kind of brings you in. But if the people like it, it shall be done. And that's that silence I'm talking about. That was him. Up next is, as I say, the breakaway was a big component of today's race, and it got miles ahead, and there were, I think, originally 19 guys in it, and then Bardet and Simon Clark joined after an hour and a half of trying to catch with them. And this is the guys in the breakaway. I don't know if you recognise any of these people. In the back there, in the middle of the screen, there's in green Matteo Trentin, who's already won 3 stages for Quick Step. And on the right there, Bob Youngles, and that little chap tucked behind Bob Youngles is Matej Moric, who's a Polish dude who's already won a stage. And so, like I say, with the style that I've altered, I've got those splash marks which I just put in. I might cut out my sound there because the sound on these slow motion bits is absolutely awesome. It really sets the scene. It makes you feel like you are the painting being splashed. It's kind of strange. And here I'm trying to capture just the movement and the colour of the peloton. Sorry, the breakaway. This is actually one of the rare occasions where the colour scheme was actually really nice. I feel at the moment it's a bit too red in the peloton, but this had a nice balance to it, so I liked painting that. As the GC went up ahead, As the breakaway went up ahead, there was a battle. I went quiet there so you could hear the sound of that. There was a battle behind, and I can't believe I'm saying this again. It's almost like it's getting repetitive commentating on the race, because it's always Contador doing something, and yet again it was the man, Alberto Contador, who lit up the race. Once again, what a brave, amazing guy. The Eurosport commentators Carlton Kirby, who's now my mate, and Sean Kelly, they keep on going about how he's a showman and that he gets inspired by the crowd, and I really love that. So with, I think it was about 15 kilometres to go or so, again, my stats are not the most accurate. It's just I have a feel for what happened in the race. I'm not here to give accurate stats really, although maybe I should. If you want to see that, then stick it in the comments. But my feeling is that it's more about the feel of what I do that is important to you guys. With a while to go, Contador attacks, and he gets away. He gets about 50 seconds on the GC. But the worrying thing was, as much as my heart said he's going to make it, Team Sky still had about 4 domestiques with Froome. So it was kind of a little bit, the writing was on the wall. But you never know with Contador, and I think he's really thrived from doing stuff and then random stuff happening which you can't predict. I think a lot of the time that gets forgotten. You can't plan everything, but if you keep trying, stuff happens which you can't quite understand why it happened, but it does, and it works in your favour. So as I've been talking over me cutting out that little shape, this is for the picture of the stage winner, Thomas de Gent, who has been in about 1 billion breakaways in the last 6 months, as far as I can see. And he didn't win a stage in the Tour de France. He also didn't win a stage in the Vuelta. Well, yet he hasn't. Silence. And he managed to finally get one today, which is incredible. I'm really happy for him, because he always tries to do something in the race. His success rate recently has not been high, let's all truth be told. But you can't kick a man for trying, or whatever the phrase is. Yeah, good effort by him. I really like the pose here. I struggled because there are lots of images of him celebrating. He did sort of 3 different celebrations. He said it is for all the breaks that he thought he was going to win. He'd racked up the celebrations, so he'd saved them up, so he did too many. And I thought this one depicted the most emotion. He's just kind of saying, yes! Or however he sounds. And there's going to be a bit of silence now, because I have nothing to say. Actually, no, I do have something to say. I really like how this picture looks like it's about to fall apart. And it looks quite frail and fragile, but at the same time very powerful. I think that's a really interesting balance. So yeah, I hope you liked today's video. One take only. Probably a load of nonsense if you ask me, but who knows. If you like this, press the subscribe button so you get my videos before everyone else.